away. Okay, so
Just closing the window because the traffic's so loud.
so we're having Casual Friday today at 1. Not required, but it's going to be really fun. And we've got a new team member called Philip, who I think is going to be coming past. He's a Rising 2L at NYU, and he's really great. He's going to be helping us out with the testing. So I told him to just jump on that if he has time. Otherwise, I think we're missing a few of our flock today, but let's see how many we can get updates on. Sinead, is Finola not coming to this meeting, or was it the meeting on Monday? I can't remember.
She's celebrating again. Or she should. She's celebrating again, but on Monday she might be able to make it. It really depends.
Okay.
She has a job in Dublin, so she needs to find a place to live, but the landlord is not being whatever. But yeah, that probably should be recorded. I don't know.
But in case her landlord is watching.
Yeah. But basically, we have to work on the edits that David has sent us. We've given you the bio templates, and we've fixed on the Excel who is on the website and who isn't.
Okay.
And then we also have our template kind of fixed, but there's issues with our code, which Michelle is going to go through with us on Monday. And then I think that's everything. Thank you,
and I'm
Michelle.
also meeting with you on Monday.
Yeah, on Monday as well,
1 o'clock your time to go through the website stuff.
You have preference. Yeah. Okay. They'll have to push me off if you go over too long. That's totally okay. I understand.
Okay, 1 o'clock is our 1 o'clock Irish time, which is 8 a.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
Fun.
7.
Okay.
Isn't it 7? It's 6. Oh, Irish time is 5.
Irish
You're
time,
6. Right.
Yeah. Okay, so that's great. I'm glad to hear you guys are making progress. Next up is Aubrey, Blake, and Matt. You had a testing call with Mia the other day, and so are you still progressing with your testing?
We watched the last of the testing videos this morning, so we're gonna start building the cases today, and I think our goal is to do 3 and then ask for like a double.
That's a good idea.
How do you do the cover sheets for the plaintiffs?
What do you mean?
So we don't have that part of a.
Who's the plaintiff?
Yeah.
Well, I know. I mean, okay, not plaintiff, right? But I mean, the people who are users. So we have a cover sheet that goes to the court, and the person who's filling it out. So then they get their packet, and they need to know what to do. And I know we tell them in the interview, but I think maybe this is a Monday thing, maybe this is a workflow thing, but I think when people have their packets, the first page needs to say, okay, here's your packet. This is what you do with it, or you just filed it with the court. This is what you should expect to hear.
The first page of the interview, or the first, where do you want
they were going to print out their packet, right? So they do. Everybody gets a copy,
right.
They download
Right. Got it. So the cover page for the user, not the cover page for the court.
Right.
Because I know that's what Mia was helping you guys with, right? She helped you with getting the cover sheet for the court and the submit to court button involved.
Right.
That's now. So we don't have it. We have it's in the interview what to do next, but we don't have a printable sheet for the user.
Yeah. So I think we never really included that as kind of a step.
Right,
in the
that's something that needs to be done.
These things. So maybe on Monday we can talk about, adding that to the steps, and then having a template that people can use and directions for adding it in and that kind of stuff.
Okay, wait, I'm quickly making a note.
I just say this because I was messaging people all over the place last night going, we're ready to go. And then I realized we don't have one. So we needed to put that together.
Okay, so I'm just going to make a note here that we need a user cover sheet.
Yeah.
Which will be done in a similar way to the
and all the
other one.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. If we're talking about the 209A, does that mean that all the critical tests have passed?
We're not talking about the 209A yet.
I don't want to jump to 209A yet. It's not our turn.
I see. This was about all right, whatever.
Getting a user cover sheet.
In general.
All right.
Okay.
Never mind.
Sorry. So, Aubrey, I just basically hijacked your
Yes.
whole thing. Tell me
Aw.
more. What are you guys doing?
That was it. We're just
That's done.
focusing. We'll circle back on Monday about user cover sheet. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, Nick. How are you and Jack doing?
So pretty much we're ready to, I sent one last revision to you for the SME. I got, and thank you for the first edit. I just have like one, I just want to make sure that it's good to go. I made the revisions that you suggested, and then we're going to conference hopefully with the SME. I think Kristen is her name, with
Yep.
Kristen, whenever. Did you get that the last one that I
I'm just
sent?
having a look at it now.
Okay.
And it was David.
Should be. I mean, I pretty much
David who made the
implemented.
edits.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, David. And I implemented everything that you said, and I think it should be ready to go, and then hopefully get that off to her and be able to conference with her about it. And yeah.
Okay, let me quickly I'll make a note here that I just need to run that past. I'll actually check it. I don't think Dave needs to check it again, just to make sure that it's in line with the edits that he made. And then I'll give you the A-OK, and you can send that off at some point this afternoon. Is that okay?
Cool. Yep, perfect. Thank you.
And are you doing the testing in parallel, or are you going to wait for the SME to approve?
I think we were waiting, but I could start doing testing, I think, right? I mean, that's something I could. I made the template, like the template for it. So is that what's called, the template, like the
scenarios
template? Scenario, yeah. I made I made that. So I think we are waiting on a little bit. I think we are waiting for the SME because we're not sure, yeah, but I don't know.
Use your words there.
Finish that thought. Finish that thought.
So you're waiting for the
Just
SME.
for me. Just for me.
to know. So, okay, I went through, and as it is right now, I made the scenarios, but I don't know how much things are going to change. Like, can we start doing, you know what I'm saying?
Right. You don't want to do work and then the investment is not worth it because you have to change everything. Did I just
Thank you. Yeah, right.
No, you're good.
Okay.
No, that's what that's the kind of where we're at with that.
Okay. Well, as long as, I mean, I know you've got your public defender internship, but I know Jackson on this call, is he? Can't see him.
No.
Okay. Just to make sure that, no one's like at a loose end. So maybe if you just reach out with him, and if you're waiting, just check in with him, please, and just make sure that he's not at a loose end. If he doesn't know what to do, then I think we can refer to 209A testing, but I will check in on that at the end of this call. Okay. Okay. Tyler. It's just Tyler.
How's it going?
Where's Mike?
Yeah. I'm not sure where he is, but I know he's not going to be here.
Okay. No worries. How's it going with you guys? Because I know that usually we see Mike because you've got your internship as well.
He texted me. He said he wasn't going to be able to make it, so I said I can absolutely make it. No, we're good. We're good. Right now, so I finalized our template. Now we got to go into scenarios, but I don't know. Chandler obviously isn't here anymore, but am I supposed to meet with someone one more time in regards to our template or no?
It's always a good idea to do that.
Okay. All right.
I think that the people that you would meet with, I know Mia has taken people through, and I think Michelle has also taken people through. I'm a little bit, my capacity is a little bit stretched at the moment, but perhaps if you could reach out on the testing channel and just ask somebody to take you to just review it one more time before you start going on and making the actual test cases, because you don't want to be making 3 test cases and then realizing that your template is wrong, because then you have to change the template and 3 more test cases.
Yeah, and our form it has had some small edits still, so it's hard to kind of keep moving forward.
Right.
But yeah, so that's where we are with the template. Chandler was helpful. I finalized that, and then we finished editing the cover letter for the project. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at now.
The cover letter for the project.
Yeah, hold on.
I know Quit. I know Mike sent something in the Slack earlier.
He worked with.
Quentin?
Did he meet with you on that, Quentin?
He didn't meet with me, but he had asked some questions. And I gave him a little feedback.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
he posted a new version on Slack.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at it now.
Yeah, so that's should be edited unless you guys have any more recommendations.
So is he waiting? So Quentin, was your clapping? I just did it. Yeah, I've noticed it. I'm just opening it up in DocX now. In Word, I mean. So what were the edits that he was making?
I had suggested that he personalize it a little bit to like include the name of the person and
I see.
I forget what else I had suggested.
So this is actually a next step for users cover sheet.
Yeah, this is a user cover letter.
So we need to be clear in distinguishing. I think that's one of the things. So we've got a user cover letter and a core cover letter. So this is good. Then this is something that we can bring to everyone's attention on Monday in the management meeting and try and see if we can play around with that. So big thanks to Mike for getting that up. And thank you for bringing it to our attention, Tyler. It's been a long day. It's been a long week, guys. I've told you guys about my tiling situation. I don't.
You can tell us again at Casual Friday if you need to. It's okay.
So that's going to really entice everybody to come. Thanks, Michelle. Okay, so that's great. Good job. I will have another look at this when I'm offline and just make any comments that I see fit. But yeah, this is looking good.
Okay. Yeah. So and then in regards to moving past the template phase, I'll probably maybe reach out to someone next week to review that one more time, make sure we're all set on the form side, and then we can move forward.
The best bet is to mention it in the testing channel itself.
And I'll send it right in there.
To at Michelle, probably you will be able to help with that.
Okay.
Or some, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's definitely better to, because I've seen it happen.
Time of day.
Like I know with when we were doing Vinny and Mia's one, remember guys, like you guys did 3 test cases and then we were realizing stuff on the template needed to be changed and then you had to change like in the template and then the other 3 test cases and it was just really ineffective.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd highly recommend that. Okay, good job. Okay, Sam and Mark, how's it going with you guys?
Pretty well. We finished up a lot of our form in terms of like fixing all the bugs and everything like that, so it runs smoothly and the new PDF looks great. So we're just kind of reorganizing all of our questions, and after this meeting we're going to meet up and just figure out how we want it all to look, and that's where we're at.
And something that I found quite helpful is doing a flow chart. You can even just handwrite it of the way in which you want your questions to be asked, because I know that when we met, I think it was yesterday, we were talking about how the questions aren't always asked in the best way. That it's just kind of a good idea, especially before you meet with an SME, to show your thinking and to show why you're asking them in this way. And it's also then easy for you to switch around if you need to. You can just draw, So that's what I've done, which is helpful. And I recommend it to everybody else. Okay, well, good. I'm glad that you guys are making progress. Okay, James. And I can't see everyone on the screen. James and Jason are both here.
Hello. Yeah. So we're on testing now. We're going through all the scenarios at this point. We met with Michelle and Mia this morning, and they helped us with the coding issue we had. But now we're ready to move on to the scenarios.
I would like to say, I'm sorry, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I think it would be great if you added that to the code channel, because I think that that other people might run into the same problem, like the specific error that you got, and then what the issue was.
Sure.
All right.
Do you want to give us a teaser?
Tyler, do you want to? I'm not Tyler. I mean,
James.
James, do you want to sum it up, or?
I don't know. I think Jason might do a better job because he was the one actually doing it.
No, I don't want to put anyone on the spot.
I was trying to follow along.
I don't want to put anyone on the spot. Rather, you guys just maybe just put it in words on the code channel, and as Michelle said, the fix as well, which would be very helpful. Because something that I realized yesterday was when I was going through with Sam and Mark, they actually had dollars in their form, and I realized that I'd failed to share something that might be very helpful, which is how to round it up and add the 1,000 separator, which Quentin.
That was a great share. Yeah.
Do you think, I'm just realizing,
yeah, Quentin said you can use thousands. Just sorry, Caroline. That was, you didn't share it with the channel, Quentin. I meant to share it with the channel. Just that you can use the thousands instead, the function thousands instead of the. I'll go there and share it later. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just thinking again, you know, how we've talked about how we lose slack and people are contributing these little pieces. Whether, you know, we can do this. I mean, Lily's got her toolkit and the samples. I'm thinking I don't want to lose this. And as more people come on, if there's a way we could get somebody to go through Slack and pull out all the snippets of stuff that's usable and put it in the toolkit or somewhere.
So I haven't been putting it in a toolkit. I've been putting it in a Google Doc. The reason I haven't shared it is it actually is in the DocAssembly Google Drive, but the reason I haven't shared it is because the formatting isn't great. I'm trying to figure out how to format that. But yeah, because we're already starting to
talk to me about it.
Yeah, I mean, we could just take that code and put them in the GitHub toolkit, one or the other, so that people, we just have this library of snippets. And I think Quentin you'd started something like that, hadn't you, somewhere?
Well, what I was starting was just a style. Oh, in a way, that's true. Yeah. I mean, we'll have to think about how to fit it all together. But as you were saying, Caroline, I think just having some stuff that was shared on Slack already will be great.
Yeah. I mean, because it's stuff people have used. They're explaining it in their own words. So you know, if you're new to it and you explain it, it's much more helpful than somebody who's been doing it for 100 years and explains it, because they make all these assumptions that you know something you don't know. So
yeah, we do.
And so
we
do.
So
if we can build this, I'm concerned because we're starting to lose Slack stuff, you know, or people don't know to look back, and there's not a good way to. There is a search, but you don't know what words to use, et cetera, et cetera. So
yeah, okay. So right now it's in a Google Doc, but I'm guessing we should do it in a toolkit. But I'm going to make a note here to figure out what a toolkit is. Oh, you think a Google Doc is fine?
I think it's fine, yeah.
I'll show you how to get it monospaced.
Repository.
I'll show you how to get it mono. We'll work it out later.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's.
Well, you know how I love formatting, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's something that we will do then, and it'll be a repository kind of place where you can just go and look. I shouldn't be using the word repository. It's a place where you can go and look for.
A library.
Help. A library. Yeah. Okay.
Library.
Okay, Vinny and Mia.
So Melanie started testing or going through our tests yesterday, and I think we're just gonna continue with this process, and yeah, so that's where we're at.
And are you has she come to you with any questions or like?
Yeah, so one thing that's come up is whether, and I talked to Michelle about this already, was whether we should be testing on phones or computers, because she tested on a computer and then part of our test was written for the phone, so that's why it failed. So we just we're going to circle back with Melanie about that.
So this is something that we got from Caroline, I think it was, the MLRI information saying that the number of people who access this kind of thing, it's primarily by their phone. So while we do want to test on the computer, we want to prioritize testing on your phone. Yeah. So
that was a signature flow thing, and I want to try it out on that form and see kind of where the disconnect is, if it is actually intended to be in that order, or if there is something going on with the signature flow that's not quite working out on the phone.
I went through it on the phone, and it was correct the way it is written in the test. And then it doesn't go that way when you do it on the computer.
So this is maybe something that's going to be beneficial for everybody. Basically, what happens is when you are doing the interview, you can either be doing it on your phone or on your computer. So if you're doing it on your phone, the flow is simple, right, Mia? It's like it doesn't ask you what device you want to sign on. It just makes you sign on your phone.
Correct.
But when you're on your computer, you get an option of whether you want to sign on your phone or on your computer. And if you sign on your computer, you can just, that signature block pops up and you can sign and you move on. If you say you want to sign on your phone, a QR code pops up and you scan the QR code, which will then prompt you to open the web browser on your phone. And then you have, I think, one screen where you can press next, and then you sign, and then you press next, and it says continue back on the device that you started on. So that
and you also have the option to text.
Yeah, also have the option to text. That is not
to text the link.
Well,
text the link.
I always test that when I run it through.
Okay, thank you. Bunny, do you have something to add?
Oh no, I just got a new code from Mia with regards to GitHub, and I had posted a question on Slack, but Michelle had answered it, so I'm doing that right now.
Okay, thanks, Bunny. Okay, so it's just that testing flow is a little bit confusing, and you can just play around with it on your own interview. Running the interview on your phone, it's simple. It's just gonna be on your phone. But it's when you get on your computer, you have those options, and that's when the flow might change a little bit. But basically, the main point of this was that you are going to want to prioritize testing on your phone. And that's something that we will communicate with the testers, actually, and that we've obviously failed to do. By we, I mean me. Okay. So thank you for catching that, Mia, and thank you for bringing it to our attention. And it's something that we will definitely emphasize in the future. Okay, I see. We've got 6 minutes left before we transition over into Casual Friday, where everyone can hear the very exciting story of how my tiles have broken. I'm joking, that's not what we're going to be talking about. But I'm going to open up the floor now to see if anybody else has anything that they want to add. Jody. Oh, Jody, I've almost finished that notes. Did you send? I sent you the message.
Awesome, thank you so much. Sorry I joined late. We still have 8 tests that need to be finished for 209A. So if anyone feels extra excited about testing today, we have a great opportunity for you. There's tests.
I'll do one.
Yay!
I'm wondering if I know Jackson on the school, so I don't want to assign him anything. But yeah, okay. Thank you for bringing
so
that.
We just. I mean, if we get these tests, I think we're almost out the door, because Kate and I worked on the cover sheet for users this morning, and I think it's pretty good. It's long, but it's also so that people know what to expect as well. So I think we're good with that. And go ahead, Quentin.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah. I mean, that's a post MVP shortening. It's normal for it to be longer at your first draft, so I think that's okay.
Okay, it's just this, right? Well, anyway, we just got it up there, so I mean, we're still working on trying to get it out there today. And I mean, we're just so close. So if the more people who could test, that's kind of what we're waiting on.
And Caroline and Kate, if you guys, I'm not sure if you've checked the ones that Mia and Blake did.
The PDFs.
Yeah, did you check those for the new ones, the tests that start with 3 dot something?
Okay.
Look further down, because Mia's done a bunch.
Okay.
Thank you, Mia and Blake, and someone else did one too.
Okay.
Aubrey, you did one. Thank you. So yeah, if you guys want to check those and make sure that those look okay, especially the ones, the 3.1 to 3.6, check those and make sure that those turned out right, because that might have been my fault that we jumped the gun, because I didn't know that we weren't supposed to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you start.
So we needed to redo those. So if we have to redo those, I'll redo them this weekend.
I don't think I can get to that today.
Okay.
I'll try.
Okay.
Is there anything that I can do from my side?
I think it's just testing the PDFs. I think
there is still I think there are like 2 pull requests open. I'm just looking over the one that you did with the character length limits, Caroline.
Yeah.
And then I put one in. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it yet.
What's that? Which one was that?
It is some language changes that we had left.
I'm waiting for, no, that's the motion to vacate marital home.
And then there's the visitation thing. I'll finish. I think.
Oh yeah, the visitation
pretty
thing.
quickly. I'll work on it this afternoon.
Okay. All right. So it won't be today. No pressure. Not pressuring anybody. Don't want to do that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we could probably get those today, and that could be
Language
something someone else could help review if you don't have time. I was thinking.
No, I'm committing all day today to do this. So the visitation. Okay, my character limits and language fixes. Those are yours. Okay.
Those are my language fixes. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
Oh right, because you were going to do something. Right. Okay. I've got one language fix. Maybe I might commit to that one so that they're all together. Okay, I'll do that. I mean, mine is an MVP, but I figure why not put it in there because it's done. Just send it to you. I was looking for more. I was going through the issues to see if I could find more. David, can you? Okay, Kate okayed it already. In the motion to vacate, we have at the end it says if you can't file the motion, talk to the probate and family court and I think it's probably better to contact a lawyer instead of contacting the court because it's not really about filing a motion. It's about getting help to protect your family. So
Do you remember what screen that's on? I just went through the motion. I'm not recalling.
It's a GitHub issue.
It's in the issue.
It's the kickout screen.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the kickout screens. Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I think it's on all of the kickout screen.
It is. It's the same
it's one kickout screen with conditions, but that's the answer. Yeah.
Okay. I actually had a couple questions about stuff as well. So maybe we could talk about those. But yeah, we can add something in there. We have the issue. One was I just wanted to know what people's thinking were on the certificate of service because I didn't see any questions regarding certificate of service yet. It was on the form. So basically,
are you talking about motion to vacate or all of them?
Yeah, motion to vacate marital home. So it has the final product has the certificate of service, but at no point was the user asked, did they complete service?
Yeah, that's probably an oversight. I mean, yeah, because if they requested ex parte, they wouldn't do a certificate of service. I was thinking, because usually you do it simultaneously, where you file it and you serve it at the same time.
The main thing is just that no one, that wasn't presented to the user as anything they had to do. So if I was the user.
I think I was thinking that would be in like an instruction sheet.
Yeah. So yeah, so we need to flag that for the user. What I could do is I could take what's there now, flag it as an issue for the court when I give it to them for review and say, this is, this wasn't a standard form. You asked for it. It wasn't a standard form. You asked for a motion. So we drafted this motion. But since it wasn't a standard form, we have a few questions. The main one being, what do you want us to do about certificate of service?
Right. I think that's why I didn't follow up on that because I didn't know what the court would want.
Yeah. I think that was what we had talked about before.
So I can just flag that for them. So it's like, it's just sitting there at the end of the page. We didn't do anything or ask any questions about it because we don't know what you want us to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Please tell us. And then we can say that.
And in fact, that's one of the issues on I think it's the motion to dismiss. So when, the motion to dismiss the CRA. So when those guys meet with their SME from the court, that's the question we got an answer from the CPCS SME. But I think the most important, it'd be interesting to hear what the SME from the court says because the court's who's requiring it, right?
Yeah. So well, okay. So I'll flag that. And then my other question was there was the way it builds the affidavit, right? So the affidavit at the end is the numbered list of paragraphs, but there's nothing that makes it clear to someone when they're filling out the text originally that text is going to be turned into numbered paragraphs. So if you go in and you're like, oh, what's all this weird spacing? And then you respace everything, then you end up getting you get a number one and a giant paragraph. And then if you want to go
to another way of doing that.
Yeah.
And so Quentin and I talked about that a little.
Yeah, I think right now you could just correct it with a language change.
Why don't you tell people when you file when you file this court form, the way you file it isn't with
Yeah,
numbered
so
paragraphs.
I think there's just a language change. So I'm suggesting something like a note on style. So on that same page, and then before it gets to it, it just says, after it says perjury, blah, 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 a note on style. On your motion, each of, because it does the pre-fill with the paragraphs.
Right.
On the motion, on your motion, each paragraph below will be part of a numbered list. The court expects short declarative paragraphs.
Well, we can work with that.
Caroline can figure out some.
The point is, it needs something before we send it to the court.
I think that's perfect. That's perfect, because then they don't have to worry about formatting it.
We might be able to just show them. I don't know this particular situation. There are some cases in which you can show them what it's going to look like, and you can say this is what it's supposed to look like. That's what
we're talking about. And David's saying they might change the way it looks. So.
No, I mean without letting them edit it. Just a visual representation.
The main part is they don't get the visual cue as to what it looks like until the very end, and then going back to it.
I'm saying we might be able to
on that. Yeah.
I'm saying we might be able to give that to them on the page.
So
that's a good idea, Michelle. We can try.
I concur, but if we're thinking MVP,
okay,
we want to get something to the court to review, then I can just do the language change. I can flag the certificate of service, and then on the kickout screens, what specifically do you want me to say? Contact an attorney?
I think we want to contact legal aid rather than the court. And the sentence is in the GitHub issue.
Okay, and it's in the issue.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that I just want to be able to get, if I can get something to give to the court to start reviewing at the end of the week. Which is today, oddly.
Oddly. How did that happen?
Oh, guys, our new team member Philip is here.
Hi, Philip.
Welcome, Philip.
I'm going to close the meeting, the stand-up meeting, and we're going to start our Casual Friday. Okay.
There's just one other thing is that Michelle stepped in to help Mariah with the motion to dismiss non-essential class fiction. And
we're working on that. Yep.
What?
Yeah, we're going to work on that more this weekend.
Yeah. So that's great because I just can't fit it in.
Okay. It's a more complex issue than it first appears anyway. So hello, Sinead. Bye-bye.
I love how Mia's background is